I'm here with Los Angeles County Commissioner and Attorney Artin. Artin, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm a LA County Commissioner. I'm also an attorney. I was born and raised in California. I've always had an interest in serving my community. Originally, I went into authorship, spent a good amount of time after graduating from UCLA to author a manuscript about the mass media, and that propelled my interest into law school. So I was working at various law firms as a paralegal, legal assistant, while concurrently going to law school at night in order to marry these two things together. So I'll be successful and have a good background before I became an attorney. And then later on, I got more interested in politics, and that dovetailed to running for city council in Agoura Hills. I was appointed as an LA County Commissioner.
And so you're from California, right?
I am, yeah.
So what is it that you're trying to accomplish in California? Very tough state, especially if you're a conservative.
Absolutely. So, fundamentally, if you are to gain the hearts and minds of people, you have to educate them. You have to inform them, but in a productive way. You have to have them use rationality than feeling. That should predominate. Unfortunately, when we're steadfast in our beliefs, we're not able to appreciate argument or debate fruitfully. So, yes, in saving California, or rather improving California's state, I think we need better laws that help our economy. Of course, our environment system is, I think, good. We need to kind of apportion better percentages to all sectors of a civilization, not disproportionately one over the other.
And there are so many aspects of California, like I've lived there for a long time. There's so many pieces of it that are just beautiful. You can't beat the weather, you can't beat the roads, but it seems like each and every year, gas taxes, gun laws, just restriction after restriction. So what is your part in making California great again?
Yeah, fair enough. So long as people know to what extent and what nature the rights are being impacted, and there's a transparent reflection by the state to the constituents, through that mechanism, the people can make a well-informed decision on what they're interested in, right? And ideally, we want people in office that listen to those wishes. That's how the system works.
Yeah.
So fundamentally, we have to self-correct that, or rather improve it, so there's a better fidelity and relationship.
Now I remember maybe about a decade ago, a big piece of the California socio-political sphere was this idea of California like seceding. It was called Cal-Exit. Is California too big to govern? Like, why is it that all the way up in Sacramento is controlling the rest of the state, but it doesn't seem like it's really doing a service to the community? It seems like every time there's new laws, new regulations, it's further and further restrictive. Like, can't have loud exhaust on your car, can't have certain firearms, you can't go to certain places, the cost of living is so high. Like, there are so many burdens. It's like, where do you start? And of course, with you as county commissioner, what is your mission for California? And if you can, how long does it take to get there?
Well, my perspective on California, is that it's not too big to govern, to address your question. And the reason being is because there's different stratas of government. There's the local government and then the state, right? And there's different municipalities. Each one has its own needs and, let's say, desires, if you will, right? Yes, ideally there's certain things that are main issues that overlap and affect all of them. But again, the way to achieve better dialogue and understanding is better dialogue and trust with the politicians running the show. And if the politicians honor their oath, things will be more streamlined. And that's fundamentally it, regardless if it's related to grocery prices or any other laws. It's not that difficult of a process to appreciate, but it has to be implemented consistently and correctly.
So a lot of people, they want change instantly. They go to the House, they go to the Senate, they go to the presidency, but they don't do that grassroots campaigning. They don't go to their council meetings, they don't go to their state capitol, advocate for bills, against bills. They don't speak in front of the microphone. So what can the constituents do at the lower level to advocate for the change that they want in California? And I kind of want to add to that.
Yeah.
If you can wave the magic wand, let's say I'm a genie, I give you 3 wishes for California.
Right.
What are those 3 wishes?
Okay, well, let's revert back to the original question that you had. Okay, so there has to be consistent dialogue with the people to the representative. Letters, showing up at meetings, city council meetings on a local level, direct and involved participation.
Yeah.
You cannot be apathetic and then vote 4 years later and then go home and sit down and say, I'm a citizen. It doesn't work like that. You have to be proactive. So letters work, emails, figure out what topic is bothering you or what topic is more important to you rather, and be clear about it and communicate to your representatives in different strata, right?
Yeah.
Local and state. 3 wishes: honesty in the process, transparency in the process, and initiative of the people to actually get interested in seeing how their vote translates into the promises that were supposedly going to be kept, and hopefully those promises are kept.
Now, I'm a big fan of recalls.
Yeah.
When a politician gets in the position and they go against the will of their constituents, or they campaign on certain promises and break those.
Yeah.
I remember about a decade ago,
Right.
there was a particular Senate, don't remember exactly who he was, but he said, I'm not going to sign any new taxation in California. First thing he does when he gets in, new gas tax.
Right.
So one of the radio podcasters, Carl DeMaio, he went out there and he was like, we got to recall this guy. He's doing a disservice to the community.
I hear you.
We have the systems in place to manage the ins, the outs, who we have in those places. It's not like somebody gets in the position and now you're stuck with them. It's like you can use the tools and mechanisms of government
Yes.
to still push and push and push. Why is it that, I mean, is it just short attention spans? Like, why is it that people don't seem to be engaged, and what message could you send to them so they can get engaged?
So you cannot rely on a fallback disposition of you being informed by the mass media. It's not going to work like that. Mm-hmm. You have to be proactive. You have to deep dive and say, okay, this sector is kind of weak. Then you have to do the follow-up, right? You got to take the initiative. And if you don't, you're not going to hold your politicians to account. So yes, they did take an oath, but if you don't hold them to account, again, depends upon the politician, depends upon their interest, depends upon their altruism. But the system works by keeping each one in check.
Cool. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on or bring to light?
Just, be proactive, be engaged in your community. That is a form of responsibility of being a citizen. It's a very cherished right, and you got to exercise it.
I agree wholeheartedly. Government for the people and by the people, but if the people disengage, politicians run amok. My dad said it best. He said politicians are like computers. Sometimes when they act erratic, you have to deprive them of power and restart.
I hear you. Well said. All right.
Artin, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.